Warning, the following show features constructive opinions performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. The views expressed are ours and may differ from views of any other entity. Accordingly, the Tim Zabriskie Show and the producers must insist that no one recreate or reenact any conversation or activity performed on the show.
Can't finish the show in just one sitting? No problem. Listen to this and past episodes of the Tim Zabriskie Show on demand on all major podcasting networks, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and the iHeartRadio app. It's perfect for the ride home.
Share this podcast.
Standing up, keep it up top, shooting star pass.
Used to be tag team partner of Eddie Mansfield, a wrestler who's just told us how every match is fake.
Do you remember this?
I asked Schultz questions that I assume all wrestlers have been asked dozens of times.
What? Is this a good business?
Yeah, it's a good business. I wouldn't be in it if it wasn't.
Why is it a good business?
Because only the tough survive. That's the reason you ain't in it. And this punk holding the camera reading he ain't in it. Reading these rednecks out here ain't in it because it's a tough business.
That's terrific.
What, is that all you got?
I'll ask you the standard question. You know?
Standard question.
I think it's fake.
You think it's fake? What's that? Is that fake? Huh? What the hell's wrong with you? That's open hand slap, huh? You think it's fake? You talk like them with your face?
Whoa.
Huh? What do you mean?
Oh, God.
Nobody was coming to it.
We interrupt your normally scheduled broadcast for a special announcement from the Tim Zabriskie Show!
Good evening. It's all choppy for some reason. What's the deal here? Welcome to the Tim Zabriskie Show. Normally, we don't like to do these back-to-back podcasts right in a row, but there has been some crazy, huge announcements in regards to All Elite Wrestling. For more, we go to Phil Stamper. Phil? What the hell is going on here? Are you moving faster? Huh?
Am I moving faster? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Why can't we just do this normal, Phil? Why does it always have to act like this? This is crazy.
Okay, so how's everybody doing? I hope everyone's going well. Hope you're excited. Hope you're having a great night. Yay, everybody!
I'm gonna work on this at the same time.
There you go. You gotta show off the biceps.
God, let's go like this.
It's a great night. It's a great night. We're all having fun on the Tim Zabriskie Show, and it's all about All Elite Wrestling. Why is that about All Elite Wrestling? Because allegedly, when they do the television upfronts next month, a Turner station, whether that's TNT, TBS, is going to announce that now they will be broadcasting on a weekly basis All Elite Wrestling.
Huh. It's very interesting, Phil. I mean, it's kind of fun that we're doing this, like, we're talking about, like, a wrestling company going on TV, and we're having such... It wasn't like this, like, 5 minutes ago, Phil. I just don't understand what the deal is
What
here.
did you do?
I literally have no idea.
It could be that we're pulling just data because we're trying to share as much as we can, and I'm going to stop and close. It's not... We're killing the internet, Tim.
I guess so. Jesus.
Killing the internet.
Jesus, it's nuts. All right, so let's get back to the topic at hand. I apologize tremendously for why it's so choppy like this right now. I don't get it. Maybe if I make Phil standard quality, maybe that'll help the whole thing. No, it didn't. So I'm gonna go back to making a maximum quality. Anyway, so yeah, I don't understand what this lag is about. I hate my life. But basically, Phil, you and I are very cynical, right? Now, what are your initial thoughts hearing about all of this going into these upfronts that are coming up next month? with All Elite Wrestling supposedly being shopped around, let's say, by Turner. How do you feel about this?
So the big thing is just that none of us really know what's going on. And what kills me even more is that, of course, it's out there that, allegedly TNT is going to put this out there. It's been out there that allegedly TNT TBS was going to be picking up All Elite since they did their announcement in January.
Right.
After this comes out, Dave Meltzer then has to talk about it, saying how he knows that TNT is one of the suitors in play. What's interesting is Chris Jericho had said that he would not have been interested if television was not part of the deal. So who knows? I still think it's a little up in the air. I think that the leaks of them getting TV is being leaked by All Elite. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just a ploy. It's an opportunity for them to say, like, hey, we have an opportunity. We have an ability to be on the same platform. Look at the guy who's funding us. Oh, by the way, and we're going to take that shot. Now, where they land, I still think is anybody's guess at this point.
Exactly. I mean, the other part of it too is that it's pretty funny how I feel like it's starting to get a little better. It's pretty funny to me how we haven't heard anything about All Elite in a while. And then on Saturday with the Hall of Fame, with all the shenanigans that happened with that, during the D-Generation X announcement or induction, right? Where Triple H was basically just making a ton of jabs right at everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, well we got a fucking TV deal, and it's with the guys that you guys were up against before. It just seems a little iffy to me, Phil. I don't know about you in that regard, but
and again, like you said, we're cynical, right. So we could be 100% wrong about all of it.
Exactly. Like there's certain things about this that just don't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like it could, but it could very well be happening too. But my initial thought with the whole thing again too is, how is it that before, I mean like 12, 15, almost 20 years ago now, right? They really just wanted to get rid of us. TBS wanted to get completely out of the wrestling game. Now, is it the same deal where we haven't heard anything from them either? You know what I mean? Obviously they haven't gone away or anything like that. They're still doing great numbers and stuff like that. But they weren't ever doing the numbers after that they were doing beforehand. Am I right?
Right. But
because of the wrestling boom, just like USA, that's it's still keeping wrestling around in Fox. They're keeping it because of what happened at the end of the 90s. You know what I mean? So maybe TNT is trying to get that. If this is true, if this isn't BS that's coming from All Elite, you know what I mean?
So it's a mix from a television perspective. Wrestling, especially from an already pre-existent company, is really inexpensive compared to the cost of producing your own television show,
right?
And everything that goes into a television production. And wrestlers aren't paid this in the same kind of way for the most part. And if you think about the end of the WCW era, there were people who were not under contract with WCW. They were under contract with Time Warner,
right? Because
their contracts were so high.
Which is why they were able to stick around. Like Goldberg and Kevin Nash, you're talking about, they didn't jump ship right away because they had these multi-million-dollar contracts for as long as they did.
Right. Exactly. So there's still that bit of, what is happening, how much money is going where, who knows. I mean, I've seen it talked about since last week that even before that, I think that Dean Ambrose has been offered a $6 million contract.
What?
Which is more right. And it's like, well, okay, if that's true, that's great. At the same time, is that real? Is that buzz? Is it hype? I mean, there's still speculation that Dean is just taking time off and is going to be back in 6 months. I've heard from other people that he's just going to lay low for a little bit. I heard that he was, trying to market himself during WrestleMania week, which I think is a bunch of bull. But honestly, who knows?
Market himself to who? I want to hear more about this rumor.
Right.
Who was he marketing himself to? Because he wasn't on the card. So
the rumors were that he was hitting up other events in WrestleMania week to show that he is interested in coming back to the independents. And I'm like, okay, let's think about this for a moment. So he is going to leave his at least 6-figure job to and for whatever reason he's leaving it, to now try to work for, I mean, he'd probably get a...
He wants to go work for DJ Hyde, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. He's going to relive the glory days of CCW.
Yeah. He wants to go back, huh?
Right. So, to that, I think that's just a bunch of bunk. I mean, and yeah, because Dean Ambrose had to go on a tour to remind people of who he is.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't come off being in, like, one of the biggest groups out there, and then all of a sudden, need to re-establish who you are with all these people. The guy's a multi-champion in the biggest company, you know what I mean? And but no, I think it's really important for him to go back and really just re-establish who he was, or who he is, and everything like that. That doesn't make any sense. What do you guys think of this whole All Elite Wrestling going to Turner? Do you think that we'll have a wrestling show that starts off at 6:05, or
I love it.
Or even
I want it. I want that so bad.
Or even like 5 minutes before. Give us a call, 518-350-4312. Luckily, the phone line isn't connected to the video line. It's weird, Phil. I just don't get it. Like, everything was fine a second ago. Things just don't make sense. I broke it. Yeah. Yeah, but besides that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out of this whole WrestleMania weekend. First off, Phil, congratulations on winning. You won, Phil. Phil, you're on the board with for how everything happened. Yeah. I wish that we could get you celebrating in real time, but
I know.
But Phil and I, we were able to get to I still have 3 points, so I'm still winning for the year. But Phil, you are on the board now, which is really nice, with 2 points. WrestleMania definitely saved you. And then we do have Money in the Bank coming up, and if you haven't seen the picture that I made for that for the podcast, you can definitely check it out on the page at Timmy Zabriskie, the Tim Zabriskie Show on Facebook, and also on Instagram too. No, if anybody wants to call in, we'll be on for a few more minutes here. 518-350-4312. Let us know what you think about us going into Money in the Bank with this whole All Elite Wrestling deal. But what I was trying to get to before I totally distracted myself because I didn't take my work medicine. Basically, Phil, what do you think about like all the new writing changes that have happened? Like since apparently people have quit, people have fired. You know what I'm speaking about, right?
So I know of 2. So and all of this is alleged too, because we don't know. They're not really putting it out there. That allegedly Road Dogg has quit as being the head writer for SmackDown, and allegedly it was over that Vince McMahon had so many changes on the night of this past SmackDown. However, now they're saying he resigned from his head writer position, but he's being moved into a different position within the WWE. So he's still there in some kind of capacity. At the same time, R.D. Evans, so some people on the independents might have known him as R.D. Evans or Archibald Peck from Chikara, who had been hired as a writer for the WWE. I guess he was a writer and producer of segments for the Hall of Fame and actually helped to prepare the Bret Hart segment. Oh, yeah, I know, before we get there. The actual speech,
very nice guy.
Right, the actual speech in the Bret Hart segment. And in it, he praises Vince McMahon. Vince apparently has a standing rule. He doesn't want credit during the Hall of Fame. He doesn't want himself to be
I don't know why he's like that, though. Is there any backstory? Do you know anything about that?
I think to a degree, don't put the attention on him. Keep it on the talent. I think there is a little bit of how nepotism do you want to be? We've talked before on this show about, WWE is a television show that features wrestling that stars the McMahon family. So
right.
How much you would have put out there, they are the stars. The McMahons are the key cast members of the WWE. So if you keep relating, oh, it's Vince, oh, it's Vince, oh, it's Vince, it's too much of that. And then, kind of to double down, not only did Brett do it, well, when DX went out there, they had a lot of talk about Vince. But apparently, after accusations that R.D. Evans was fired, apparently he's fired back on his own social media, and he's like, "This was
he's like, I quit."
Right, this was my response. I quit WWE. So he's saying he quit. We'll see.
Yeah, it doesn't.
What's funny is, I remember he'd been a pretty big mainstay with Chikara for a minute, and then all of a sudden he vanished. I had no clue he had actually been signed by the WWE until maybe 6 months ago, and it was like, oh well, good for him, awesome. I liked a lot of his work.
Right.
And now he's not there anymore. There also has been out, because everybody and their brother tagged me in it, which is kind of cool in a way, for a WWE position. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but basically a continuity person. This person would not be involved in directing creative. What they would be involved with doing is making sure from event to event that the storylines are consistent, how stars are being seen as consistent. So I did apply for it, but we'll see.
Well, you should.
Continuity coordinator or something, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're with you trying to get out there and everything like that, it makes sense. But yeah, I think that the big thing is that, I only read a second of it, and I only read it because you posted it, right? But the whole thing to me was that, I said to myself, oh, I wonder if it's literally somebody that's there that's just like, nope, that doesn't make sense because Roman did this X amount of days ago,
Right. So yeah, I'm wondering, or it's been a position that's been around, and it just happens that now they have this opening. Who knows?
Or because Vince is fucking firing everybody for saying his name.
Right. And I had lost track of who was in charge of what, because I didn't even realize that Road Dogg was back and in charge of SmackDown. And so to know that, it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. An old friend who honestly I haven't talked to in years was involved in creative, and for a while he was listed sort of as the head, but he wasn't writing content because basically he was writing what everybody else was saying. Well, they sent him home to kind of put heat on him for how things were moving, and this was 2 years ago, and I don't know where he's at. I know he's still with the company, but I don't know where he's at now in placement of things that are happening. So it's kind of like if they're looking for a new head writer on SmackDown, it's like, well, you have at least 3 people in your crew who have been in that position.
Has there been any talk on All Elite hiring anybody for their writing staff or anything like that?
See, I not yet. And remember, there was that comment that Cody Rhodes made that, wow, I just saw a meme that took my breath away. Anyway, there's been a lot of conversation. Excuse me. Cody Rhodes one time before had made a comment that there would be no writers.
Right.
And it's like, well, wait a minute, somebody has to put together which matches in what order.
Exactly.
And the least of that.
This is where it gets sketchy and more like WCW, because if everyone's an executive vice president, because as Triple H said,
if you put executive in front of your name, it sounds important.
Basically, he basically he's saying that but think about it, in WCW, everyone had creative control, right? Is that how this is gonna be here? You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna give it to Jericho. Is Jericho an executive too? Is that the whole thing? Is basically everybody just an executive, Phil? And if everyone has to make executive control, there's gonna be a lot of backlash. Nobody's gonna want to stick around for any of that shit.
Backlash, copyrighted WWE.
All right. There's not gonna be a lot of Tuesday Night Dynamite. Who the fuck came up with that name? Because that's bullshit. That's such a stupid name. Tuesday Night Dynamite. Feel the bang, right? Come on, what are we doing here?
They were trying. I'm sure it was somebody came up with let's call the show Dynamite. Somebody else is like, well, no, we need to connect it to Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah, why person. Tuesday? Why?
Right.
They should stay away from Monday, absolutely. But SmackDown's going on Fox. That's not a smart move. What's the ideal night for wrestling for AEW on TNT, Phil?
Well, allegedly what they made comment on before was that they were aiming for a Tuesday night show.
They said this.
They said this, right.
When did they say this?
I thought they said this way back in like January. I thought. But remember, when SmackDown goes to Fox, I thought it was already talked about that it was going to be on Friday nights, that they weren't going to keep SmackDown on Tuesdays. Maybe I'm misremembering that.
No, they did, because they wanted to keep it live and have it be the lineup for the weekend or something like that for all the sports, because they're really trying to get SmackDown to be really sports generated. I do remember them saying that, Phil.
Right. So, I'm not making it up. So if All Elite goes on Tuesday, right now there's no other competition from the WWE unless USA goes, well, wait a minute, we still have this time slot that can be filled with more content.
Right.
Let's put 205 Live or NXT there. I'm not saying that's what they would do, but could that be a possibility?
Exactly. We don't know. So, Phil, what do you got going on this weekend?
So I am at MCW Pro Wrestling. We are having an event that is going to take place at the Old North Carroll High School in Hampstead, Maryland. And then I am in a play.
Wow.
I am in Avengers After Dark at midnight. That's right. It's a midnight show.
That's pretty fun.
So it's going to be that kind of fun, too. It's going to be at the Bethesda Chevy Chase Regional Service Center in Bethesda, Maryland.
That's awesome. All right, Phil. Well, your video's not showing. That's why I kind of stopped showing you and everything like that.
Go figure. I'm gonna save my battery.
Yeah. No, but definitely. Phil, thanks for. Holy shit, Phil, are you kidding me? Did I just fix? Am I still broken? Am I still broken, Matt Hardy over here?
No, you're working. Am I
moving as fast as I should be right now, Phil?
Yes, you are.
You gotta be freaking kidding.
You look great.
Phil, you know what I did? I went to my camera settings. I can't believe this right now, Phil. For some reason, I went to my camera settings, and then now I'm moving regularly.
And I'm still a glob of frozen.
I'll try to reset you.
Okay.
Anything?
Now it's black.
And he's gone. All right, everybody. Tthank you so much for popping by.
The shadow knows.
How the hell? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know how, but it already went back into the ending news music, so that's sweet. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm sorry that it was all choppy and crap. I don't even know what the hell happened. I guess I just needed to refresh my camera right there. But make sure you like, subscribe. If you don't share this one, that's okay. Oh man, Phil. You know what, Phil? You know what we should do? We should come back in like an hour and just do this again, and we'll delete the first one. Oh my God.
If we give it a week, there'll be a boatload of more information out there. Possibly, maybe, potentially.
Yeah. We'll see what Cody Rhodes wants to make up, and then then I'll put it out there. All right. If I don't see you though, catch me outside. How about that?